Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. Today's video is a little bit different to my usual video. It's kind of like a review and my own thoughts about the new trailer that's come out for the Madeleine McCann documentary. And this has been released today on the 14th of March, and then the actual documentary releases tomorrow on the 15th of March on Netflix. So yeah, I don't mean to offend anyone involved, it's basically just my own thoughts and opinions about this trailer and this whole case. I'm not like persuading you to believe what I feel, yeah, it's just kind of my own thoughts. So let's watch the trailer. I haven't watched the trailer yet, this is like my first opinion on it. It came out I think about 7 or 8 hours ago, so yeah, I've been saving it till this video.
The entire McCann case has become a phenomenon.
If you made a dozen movies out of this, nobody would believe them.
It seems like Kate's done a good job of however many books she's done out of it, so profited quite a bit from that.
I've done thousands of cases. With the Madeleine case, I've seen the worst things a human being can see. The worst.
So one of the worst things he's seen is that one, the parents had actually sedated the children so that they could sleep better, whilst they left them alone to go out to a bar drinking, left at a place where is a known paedophile-like area, the whole area, and there had been reports recently about that suspicious type of activity going on there, and they decided to leave their children alone. Well, regardless of knowing all this, you shouldn't be leaving your children alone so you can go off, no matter the distance.
It is feared that a 3-year-old British girl has been abducted in Portugal.
If your child isn't safe at a resort, where is she safe?
The media made their daughter the most high-profile missing child in the world.
Some individuals represented a significant person of interest.
Police say they are now treating a British man as a suspect.
So the people of interest, hopefully they go into who should have been the person of interest at first, the people of interest, the McCanns for one, because you should never really drop anyone, and the McCanns should have been suspects until they were proven not guilty and not involved, like it should happen and does happen with every other case, no matter how awful it may seem to think that, the parents, they won't have done it, blah blah blah, but until they've been proven that they haven't done it, in some instances it does happen, and they should have always been considered as a suspect, as well as all the other people that there was with that night, the friends and that group of them. They should all have been considered suspects straight away, not left to be able to like change the stories or something that had happened as well.
They wanted me to confess. I actually felt I was being set up.
Oh yeah, and hopefully, because there's been a lot about this, about the people who have been blamed, and we also know from other cases that the police are really manipulative, like in the Making a Murderer case, where it does actually happen, where the police basically force and kind of like manipulate you to confess certain things, and it in a sense feels like it's just so that they can get it over and done with, so there's no more investigation going on, so that they're like, right, okay, we've got the person, he's admitted to it, blah blah blah, then there's no more looking into it. If anything suspicious is going on, then they can be like, well, no, we found whoever we needed to, he's admitted it, so nothing else needs to be looked into.
The police had suspicions that there was some collusion happening during the night, that Maddie went missing.
This could be the breakthrough. Here it is, it all fits.
Statistically, it's likely to be someone who is in close proximity with the child.
It's likely to be someone who is in close proximity to the McCanns. Well, again, why weren't the McCanns first considered as a suspect and interviewed and interrogated and asked questions about? And then if they aren't involved, then that could clear up any speculation that people may have, because what people tend to do is obviously their own research. That's what I've done in my other videos. And then all this other research brings more things out, again, making them a more likely suspect. And that's what a lot of people actually think, that it was the McCanns that were involved in the disappearance of Madeleine. And then like half of all the the interviews and also the pictures that had been going around on the internet as well, it kind of shows that Kate and Gerry look really suspicious, like with the body language and like in the interviews and stuff, by Kate not actually answering any of the interview questions. And like the birthday, or I think it was the anniversary for example, where in the pictures they're seen to be like laughing, smiling, blah blah blah, but in Kate's book she contradicts that by saying that it was like the saddest day, Gerry couldn't really speak, they were all really sad, but it just wasn't portrayed the same in the pictures that were actually taken on that day. So again, like, and the certain questions as well from the interview that I just mentioned, like, she wasn't answering like really detailed specific questions that could have jeopardised them and put them in a more suspect position, if that makes sense.
The McCanns and their friends revised their timeline.
There is no way Kate and I are involved in this abduction.
Again, here they revised the timeline of events, and therefore obviously changed it all. And as it was so long after these were interrogated or whatever and interviewed, they had enough time to prepare, analyse, and then create their own series of events that actually happened, make sure everyone were on board, make sure it was the perfect timing in between everything to basically discuss, right, this is what happened, this is what you did, blah blah blah. I'm not saying this is what happened specifically, I'm just saying that this is what could have happened, although some people will be more inclined to believe that this is why it changed. And this changing of the story gives everyone a position to make it look as if they're not as suspicious as what they originally had been made out to be.
The police leaked information to the press.
Those cops lied to me.
Cops lying, holding information, releasing certain things out to the public that they wanted people to see. It's all the manipulation that takes place, as we know, as I say, from other cases as well.
Then there was the surprise.
The head of the investigative unit was under investigation himself.
Yes, so the head of investigation, he was actually sacked because from what seemed like he was getting too much information to put the McCanns, as he actually believed that they were involved and they had done something to Madeleine. And it would have felt like, in a sense, a weight lifted off the shoulders of the McCanns by getting rid of the head of the investigation in Portugal, who was more towards them being involved in it. And this detective who I'm speaking about, Goncalo Amaral, I think that's how you say his name, he actually wrote a book on the McCanns, after he was obviously sacked from this role, about why he thought that they was involved in it. And then from this documentary, hopefully Amaral is actually able to talk about certain things that he may have not been able to talk about before, and we uncover as much mysterious things that are actually going on and underlying the surface of everything, and hopefully they're presented to us in this documentary, so we're I knew it.
Startling element is the sheer number of sexual predators in the area at the time.
Again, like I mentioned, this area was known to be a place where there was a lot of sexual predators, a lot of these incidents had been going on and had been reported. So why would the thought of leaving the children on their own in this place where there was known sexual predators going around, even regardless of this being known, they shouldn't be leaving the children alone anyway, even if it was just to go down the road or whatever to this bar. They should not have left them there in the first place.
It's very easy to move children to other countries.
Human trafficking is a massive problem.
The value that Madeleine had was really high. There's always something left to do till you find her.
Somebody knows what's happened to Madeleine McCann.
Definitely. There is someone out there who knows, who has some information, some vital piece of information that will be a breakthrough for this whole case. But it feels like it's been withheld in a sense, whether that by the police or by investigators or whoever, someone will know what has happened. Whether that be the McCanns themselves or any of the friends of the McCanns who were with them on that night, somebody will know something. But maybe this information is being withheld to protect someone. But as it is being withheld, it kind of makes other people look suspicious, the finger's pointing at some people more than others. So what I'd like to see from this documentary is some of the questions that Kate didn't answer, why people think that she's not answered it, also why it took so long to become a crime scene, did the room, and why they weren't considered a suspect at first, just things like that. I'd also like to know about the blood and the sniffer dogs at the crime scene, what they'd found, because surely that was a major piece of evidence and nobody's really spoken about it, and hopefully they will in this documentary. So this new documentary is basically by blending interviews from, I think it was over 40 contributors, so there was 40 people who were involved in this case, whether that be really close to the family or people who were just involved working on the case that had contributed to this documentary, so we'll be able to find out things from a lot more different sides. There is also hints that Madeleine McCann may still be alive with improvements to new technology, and then obviously this technology to find more DNA evidence and samples and things is obviously getting better year by year. And this technology is improving facial recognition, so it's becoming a lot easier to recognise people's faces, as what we've seen in other YouTubers, their videos, because I know Shane Dawson did a video on that about the facial recognition and being able to do things with your face. And what people are also saying is that the new technology, as it's reviewed again this case, and revisited, they're saying that something that they may already know could slip into position and be the breakthrough to this whole thing. So we'll have to see what they show. So here's a few of the people who were actually interviewed as part of this documentary, so we'll be able to see their side of the story. It's not everyone, but there is a fair few. Goncalo Amaral, former Chief Investigator Coordinator with the police in Portugal, and then he was the one that was actually dismissed. He actually wrote a book about the Madeleine McCann case. Sandra Filgueiras, not too sure, a journalist with radio and television in Portugal who covered the Madeleine McCann case. Robert Murat, local Portuguese-British man who was declared a suspect in the Madeleine McCann case, and his suspect status was actually lifted due to lack of evidence. Erin Allen, former president and CEO of the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children. Jim Gamble, a former senior British police officer and former head of Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre. Phil Hall, former newspaper editor who worked as a PR consultant for the McCanns. Susan and Haynes Hubbard, friends of the McCanns. Kelvin Mackenzie, former editor of the Sun newspaper who clashed with the McCanns over media standards when covering this case. And a whole lot more. So yeah, I hope you did like this video, basically just giving my thoughts and opinions and first impressions of this trailer and what I think and what I hope to see from this documentary, and hopefully therefore it answers some of the questions that a lot of us are having, and then maybe information is being withheld till this documentary is released. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of all these interviews, because a lot of the people who are actually being interviewed have never really spoke about it so publicly, and we've not really seen that many sides of things. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to be presented to us. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like on this video, and please subscribe for more videos every single week. Turn on the post notifications as well to stay up to date with my True Crime Tuesday video upload schedule. So yeah, thank you for watching.